Michael Rapaport, a.k.a. love that basketball, a.k.a. love me some Sean Penn movies, a.k.a. wham bam lam sing dong ding dong. I am the song.
How are you? Thanks for the AKAs. I need to use some of those. How's everything going?
Doing very well. Dude, I got to tell you, I love the format of the podcast. And the reason why is because you break it down. You break it down like radio people do, that you're not going to spend 2 hours on one subject. You set me up and then you execute.
You know, I consider myself a professional podcaster. Podcasts are like buttholes at this point. Everybody has one. There's so many things to watch, stream, social media. You know, I try to put on the best show that I possibly can. You know, my attention span isn't what it used to be, and I know other people's attention span isn't what it used to be. So I try to keep you on the edge of your seat without being contrived. You know, and like I said, you know, there's plenty of things that people could watch and listen to. And when they turn on the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast, which is available wherever you get your podcast, I try to do it as best I can every minute.
How do you break down the show the way that you do? Because I love the way, especially on your latest one, where you went into the political moment. I couldn't tell what side of the fence you were on because, I mean, Biden versus Trump and things like that. But I love the way that you stayed so damn true on it.
You know, when I'm doing an episode, I try to just be as honest as I possibly can, as energetic as I possibly can, as genuine as I possibly can. As far as the politics, you know, a lot of what I've known for politically on social media veers one way, but if you listen to the podcast, I can't stand most of these people. I think we're in a mess politically across the country. The last podcast, I did an imaginary simile of Joe Biden, smoking Joe Biden, fighting Donald Trump in a UFC ring, oiled down, bare fist. You got to be oiled down in banana hammocks. I imagine Donald Trump winning by submission late in the first round. I don't even think it would go to the second round. You know, I think it's so much of it is very serious, but you have to laugh at it, and you have to laugh at all these people. Because at the end of the day, no matter what side of the fence you're on, these people could care less about you, me,
yep,
your mom, your daughter, your cousin, your best friend. And there's been so much disruption politically, and people are breaking up friendships, not talking to family members. At the end of the day, we're going to be the ones cleaning up all these people's mess.
Speaking of messes, one of the things that you do on your podcast is the fact that I love the way that you openly admit I don't think there's a highway anywhere on the East Coast that you haven't kind of marked that highway. I mean, you'll stop the car and use it as a bathroom.
That is a fact. I don't do it for pleasure. I suffer from a disease called ulcerative colitis.
Wow.
Fortunately, I am doing well, knock on wood, with my ulcerative colitis. But like I said, I don't do it for sport. I don't do it for show. There have been times when, yes, the 405, the FDR Drive, the 101 freeway, and the Bell Park. If I gotta go, I will go. Central Park, you know, Runyon Canyon in California. If I gotta go, I will go. Like, again, it's not something I'm necessarily proud of, but I do have a disease called ulcerative colitis, and you know, I have a system. I will cover myself. I will make sure no one sees me. But if you got to go, you got to go. Yeah. I don't do it for sport. I don't do it on people's lawns. I do it in the privacy of the public.
Speaking of sports, Baker Mayfield is a part of the Carolina Panthers. You got to be, come on, you play fantasy football. You got to be hoping that we are going to knock down some dang points this year.
Listen, you got the good Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
Love him. The good Christian performs every Sunday. But do you think Baker, the faker, will be the starting cornerback, or will it be my guy Sammy Smooches from the New York Giants? What do you think? What's the word down there?
I think I'm in front of a group of people right now. Everybody's saying Baker. Do you think we'll do Baker? I actually, in all honesty, I'd still love to see Cam Newton.
Oh, that would be sick. Yeah, I think Baker will get it, but you know, listen, it's going to be competitive. It's going to be. I mean, that would really screw him up if he's not the starting quarterback. But Sam Darnold's been starting too. Listen, as long as Christian is healthy and he can stay healthy, you guys will always be an entertaining team. You know, I'm a fantasy football guru, a senior fantasy football analyst. I know the Carolina Panthers well. You have some weapons. So whoever is in there as the starting cornerback, you guys have a lot of offensive weapons, and my draft is coming up at the end of the month of August, and I will be prepared to pick up whoever is open for my team. Of course, my fantasy football team is iconic. The team is called Rapaport's Delight. I talk fantasy football on the I Am Rapaport Stereo
Yes, you do.
podcast. I'm out of my mind with my fantasy football, and I'm looking forward to the Carolina Panthers putting up a lot of numbers this season.
Speaking of being healthy, you and I have something in common. We're both walkers. I put in about 7 to 8 miles a day as well.
Wow, you put in 7, 8 miles. I'm
Hell
kind of at
yes.
a 6.5 mile. How long does it take you to do 8 miles? I've never done 8 miles. I'm
out there. Well, I mean, the greenways here in Charlotte are just unbelievable. So I'm out there about 3.5, 4 hours.
Dang, that's good. I mean, I love walking, especially in this heat. You clear your mind. I try to do it at a nice pace. It's just a lot of fun, and it's healthy and obviously low impact. And I definitely get my walks in.
Yeah. So that when do you find time to do these podcasts? I mean, are you doing them out there on the road as well? Do you have a little portable system?
Yeah, I definitely have a portable system. I do them whenever wherever I can. If I can't, do it at the home studio or a studio in New York City, I do it on the road. I've done them in my car. I've done them in hotel rooms. I love doing the podcast. The podcast comes Tuesdays and Fridays like clockwork, one way or another, rain, sleet, heat wave, or thunderstorm. I take it seriously. It's not a hobby. It is a job that I pride myself and I pride myself in trying to do the best of my ability every time I pick up the golden mic, as I call it.
Absolutely. And one day, hopefully, Howard Stern will do it with you. I mean, I'm telling you, I think
man,
you're going to be the dude that's going to land that interview. You're going to be the one.
Man, that would be sick. That would be sick. You're right about that. I need to get him on here. I got to get him on the damn podcast.
Well, dude, you got to come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
I would love that. I appreciate this interview, and I appreciate the support. And like I said, I'm looking forward to football season and fantasy football season, whether it's Baker or Sammy Smooches. I hope you guys have a good season.
You bet. Be brilliant today, okay, sir?
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.